Alright, so I'm annoyed. I thought this dude lived in Richmond, so I rode my bike from Vallejo to Hercules. I hopped on the bus because I slept in a little, and he replied right after the second or third time I woke up. When I finally woke up and stayed up, and I just happened to see his email reply, and he said later on he'll give me his address. So I go ride my bike. So I go ride my bike to Hercules, hop on the bus because I figured it'd be quicker to just ride there than wait for the next bus. So I'm waiting for like an hour or so, hour and a half, 2 hours. He finally texts me back. That's like, I think it was an hour and a half. And he lives in Alameda, which normally wouldn't be a problem since I know how to get there on the bus or my bike or part of the way. But one, I'm broke. I only have like $4 in the bank. I just happen to have $2 left over in my wallet from the change from last week when my mom gave me $10 to go to Oakland. So I was kind of annoyed, and I was gonna go, but then I thought about it and I was like, I don't want to go all the way there because it's taking me like an hour to 2 hours, since I still have to get used to this gear ratio. Then I have to go all the way home, and then maybe if I'm desperate, hop on the bus at some point because I have some change. I might have to get $1 for the bus that I took earlier. So I just said whatever. After I said I would be there in a while, I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna pass. I felt bad, but since he didn't give me the indication, he wasn't in Richmond or anywhere closer, and I forgot I thought about saying I was coming from Vallejo, but since Richmond isn't that far, I was like, whatever, I won't do it. But maybe I should have when I sent my last reply. So, but since I left so early, I knew it wouldn't be a big deal because of the bus I took. It was close enough. Since I got off in San Pablo, wasn't too San Pablo and Richmond, not too far away, especially where I was. So that was annoying. So now I'm going home. One of the big reasons I flaked and said I'm gonna pass is because besides being broke, I only ate a sandwich before I left thinking it would be closer. But then if I went to Alameda, it's like 60 miles, somewhere between 50 and 60 miles versus 25-ish, 30. So I could deal with just having a PB&J going 20 to 30 miles, but 40 to 60, I don't know, not that appetizing. So I said sorry, I'm just gonna pass. So I guess we're both in the wrong. I was annoyed because usually when I see people doing that, they will have multiple listings of the same thing, but in different cities to entice people. And most of the time, they'll say the actual city they're in if they aren't actually in the city that they chose. So since I've been seeing it for like a month or so, and it was never in the Alameda or Oakland or Berkeley or anywhere else, I assumed he was closer to Richmond. Even if it wasn't in Richmond, it was closer. So I was thinking somewhere between Rodeo and Berkeley-ish, since I do know about people doing what he did, but since Alameda is pretty far from Richmond, it's just kind of out of my thought process, because it's like 20 miles away, something like that. 15 to 30 miles from Richmond. Hello. Got the foods. Now I'm hungry because I rode around for like 45 minutes to an hour waiting for his text, and then I sat down for like 20 minutes in a shopping center just so I didn't get too hungry. So whatever. It was a good 20 to 30 mile ride, and before I left or right after I left, I told myself if it doesn't work out for whatever reason, once I'm on this side of the bridge, at least I got out earlier than most days, and I got a good bit of mileage in. I'm not exactly sure the mileage because I was just lurking before and after I sat at the bench I was at, before and after he replied. So I was kind of looping around. I was using all the side streets in the neighborhoods versus a street like this or any other main street, just because I knew they'd be less noisy, and it ended up helping me out because I had just told my mom where I was since I left in a hurry, and right after she sent a second reply, he finally sent me his address and some pictures, as he said he would, but I declined, only because now I'm kind of hungry. So by the time I get home, or before, I'll be even more hungry. I just didn't want to go another 20 to 30 miles, even though it would have all been no hills. If my memory isn't playing any games with me. If there were any hills, it wouldn't be that bad. I just didn't want to deal with it. It's cold. It's further than I thought. And if I don't have any tubes at home, I'll have to scrounge up some monies. Maybe get all my recycling together and walk down there, since it's like 20 minutes, 25 minutes to walk. It's like 10 by bike, 10 to 15 depending on how heavy my load is. It's all downhill from my house or straight until right when I get to the center. There's a little incline, but it's the street it's on, so not an inconvenience. It just can be annoying sometimes, depending on how heavy my bike trailer is. Most of the time I walk all the way or halfway up it. At least it's early. It's like 1 o'clock. Sometime between 12:30 and 1:30 p.m. So not bad. This could be later. I'm gonna take off my camera so I don't look suspicious when I go into the store. Like, share, subscribe. Maybe a couple of days without it upload. Depends what I do. Can get doing tube wise. So we'll see. Because I might have to get it delivered to me, or I might just have my mom take me to Walmart since she doesn't tend to mind, and I don't really ask her for a ride these days. I usually deal with it myself, but since it's like 15 minutes away, depending on traffic, not too shabby. Alright. Like, share, subscribe. Toodles. Well, it looks like I have enough change to ride the bus, which works out. Which works out because I realized I don't have my wallet. Alright, bye. I forgot I left it at home because I didn't know where he lived, so I was safe. Alright. I didn't want to take forever because of lack of food intake, since I didn't think it would be that far. I didn't bring any food. Since it's close enough where I was and where I thought he lived, that it wouldn't matter, because it only takes like an hour to 2.5 hours, depending on all the details, where I am, my gearing, how much energy I have, all those things. Since most, luckily, where I was, at least, it's mostly just straight streets or the like, and most of the hills are going this direction, unless I really went into the hills, because they're there, but the general area I was in wasn't a problem with the inclines, so that's the only bonus. I left when I did in case he did live it up any hills in the general area over here. just so it wouldn't take me too long. Even though it's only my second ride with this gear ratio, it hasn't been that bad. Going uphill has been pretty decent. I like the heaviness as I pedal uphill. If it's something like this, maybe slightly higher or steeper, not feeling too light in the gearing has felt nice, even if it is only the second ride so far with the gear ratio. Also got annoyed because my bike was squeaking for like an hour-ish, and then I know it stopped, but then right before I started recording, it started squeaking again. Alright. I just didn't want to deal with it because it started drizzling. I guess it rained last night, but if it wouldn't have been wet, I wouldn't have cared. But it's kind of cold. I don't want to deal with that. Especially since it was a little further than I was anticipating. Didn't want to get caught in the rain. But this wasn't too far from home. Probably home like an hour and a half-ish. Because I'm gonna have to walk up a really big hill. I need to conquer that part of San Pablo. Going back into Crockett from Rodeo. I always just walk up from the bottom, past Cummings Skyway. It's too much to deal with. Maybe I'll do it on the Diamondback Sorrento, since it's a mountain bike. Try it a few times on a geared bike, then see my luck on a single speed or fixed. One of the bigger hills in this area until you get to Alta Bronte or El Cerrito hills. Been a while since I actually climbed, even though I walked a little. Kind of lost my speed because how sudden the incline is. I didn't get used to that little incline. It's not that bad, it's kind of, for how short it is, it's kind of steep and awkward. So if your gearing isn't great or you're not used to it, it can be kind of hard. Because it's not that long, but you lose momentum because there wasn't much of a wasn't enough of a area to get situated before the incline really gets steep. If I have enough battery to get to the hill, I will show it. Otherwise, I'll do a different video in the future showing the part that San Pablo always talked about being super annoying. Oh man, last year I think it was, or in the end of 2019, this guy in his like 70s was on his road bike and he gave me a joking little smart aleck response because since he had a geared bike, he could just go in the gear that was easiest for him for that hill. And so it was obvious he was kidding, but it hurt my ego because he was like somewhere between 65 and 80, and he was just breezing up. Well, he was going kind of slow, but since I was walking, he was messing with me. Since I was on my mongoose or my crew, either one of them as a fixed gear, so it was walking was the answer for me at that moment. I'm glad I found my battery, my charger door when I was cleaning my room the other day, because now I'm not so worried about riding in the rain, since the case is supposed to be waterproof or water resistant, one of the two. The listing on eBay said waterproof, but then the package said resistant. But either way, it doesn't rain that heavy that often here. No! Shit. Crap. Exactly what I didn't want to have happen. I had to get some money. Crap. Alright. Now I have to ride the bus. I don't know if that was a rock or a... I think it was a rock, even though I took it out. I don't have any tubes on me. So annoying. Alright, so now I have to walk down here. At least it happened here. And I heard it. Here's someone's gonna walk and talk. Now let's go to the store. What store do I want to go to now? Is the problem. Now I have to walk across the bridge. What a day. Actually, I wish I would have brought some more change. I have like $1 or a little bit over $1. Guess I'll check it before I get to the store. Might have enough to hop on the bus. Because all I need is $1. I don't know anywhere that has anything for $1. Maybe can't remember if it's Walgreens or Rite Aid is over here. I think it's Walgreens. At least I have both my locks. That's something. Now I have to look through all my spare 26-inch tubes to see if I have any, since I only have $4 in the bank. I think this is the second time that's happened with this tire. Might have to retire it. It felt like and looked like a rock, but I was just annoyed, so I didn't pay attention. Especially since it came out quickly. There was just a little bit too much pressure. Would rather it have happened to my back wheel, or if I had another 700C wheel, I have a spare tube that may or may not work. I just put it in my backpack just to have it. I don't know if I have any other 26 inches because I don't think I do, because when I was riding the Sorrento, I think I popped one and then I think I used it on that, or this one is that one, something like that. This, I'm not too far from the store. Could have gone the other way behind me, but since this way is easier because one of the buses I need to take goes this way. But I had to take two. I wish the bridge didn't cost so much, or it was like it was when I first moved across it. It was like $3, $2, $3, because I would just take the bus to the stop I got on or across the street and then ask for a ride, because it was only like 5 minutes from my house by car, depending on traffic, since we live right off the bridge on our side, taking the first 3 exits, and then once you get across to this side, that bus stop is right there. It's right across the street. So I could just go across the street and be on the same side if I asked for a ride, and then we just turn around and go down the street. But it's like $6 now, and I don't want to deal with it, even though I'd get home quicker. Oops, that's my fault. Ugh. Now, if I don't have any